All right, so let's continue back where we left off. Conflict rituals. Well, what are they? They're the rituals that a lot of couples or different parties kind of agree to in a way or just stay in when it comes to conflict. So a conflict happens and they solve it the same way mostly every time. For instance, the uh, child who whines and whines until she gets her parents' attention and gets kind of what she wants. While situations like this might seem like a negative, you have to think on the other side where maybe whining is the only way that this girl can get her parents' attention. Maybe she's tried the nice way, tried the more polite way, and she can't get her parents' attention that way. But when she whines, she finally gets the attention. And then the parents give her the attention that she needs. And that solves the conflict. So it's not always a bad thing to be stuck in those rituals or to have those same rituals every time, because just because it's not always that perfect win-win situation, it solves the conflict in an agreeable way for both parties in a most agreeable manner as you can get. And then we're finally getting into the variables in conflict style, which I told you culture would be a part of this. So just as many other chapters have variables when it comes to gender and culture, so does this. For instance, conflict for gender. Males are more likely to be aggressive, demanding, and competitive, while females are more likely to be cooperative. Just from how we are raised from a certain age, we're more likely to be cooperative and to want to find a win-win situation for both parties and want to discuss this, while men are like, okay, let's do this, let's get this done, and are more straightforward and aggressive about it. And then culture, culture, as we've discussed before, North American culture, our culture, is very straight-talking, assertive. When we have an issue, we more than likely are very straightforward about it, and we discuss it, and we try to get through a conflict no matter if it involves fighting or not. While other cultures, a lot of times Eastern cultures, for instance Japan, they avoid conflict. That's just their culture. They value self-restraint. They're less assertive people. They want to avoid this conflict as best as possible, really. All right, and then we get into collaborative problem solving, the steps that I discussed before when it comes to collaborating and trying to get that win-win situation. So identify your problem and unmet needs. Both parties are saying, okay, here's the problem. This is what we need to do to get both of our needs satisfied and our problem solved. Make a date. This means schedule your fight, if you will, or schedule your discussion about your conflict. While this may seem strange, especially when a lot of times fights erupt out of nowhere, if you guys are proactive about saying, okay, here's the issue, we both have an issue with this, let's schedule a time where we can both discuss it, then you have that until that date to say, to think to yourself, okay, what's my side of the story? What is the problem that I'm having? What are the needs that are being unmet on my side? And so that actually allows for a more rational conversation when the date comes, because you're less emotional and less stressed and less, oh my gosh, I want to blow up at you. Or more rational, if you will. And then describe your problem and needs. Once you have that date and you're at that date, describe it. Okay, these are my problems. This is what I need from this situation. This is what I need to resolve this. And then consider your partner's point of view. In every discussion, you have to say, okay, this is my side of the story and this is how I'm feeling, but then look at the other person and say, okay, this is how they're feeling. And if I was in their shoes, how would I feel? Would I feel similar? A lot of times that helps solve conflicts, knowing the other person's side, feeling the other person's point of view, being empathetic. And then negotiate a solution. Okay, what can we do that we both win in this situation? How can we solve this where we're both happy? And then, once you negotiate and agree upon that solution, follow up to the solution. A week or two passes, a month, you negotiate it. Is the solution working for us? Is the solution we negotiated before working? Or is it not working? Should we negotiate a different solution? Always follow up to make sure that solution is still working so that the conflict does not arise again. All right, so constructive conflict. There's those questions and answers that were like, okay, constructive conflict kind of seems very idealistic and too perfect to be true. So is the win-win approach too good to be true? Actually, research shows that it's not. It is possible if you follow those steps and you take the time out to set those conversations. You're not always going to, that goes into the second question, is the win-win approach too elaborate? You're not going to always go through every single step in every conversation and in every conflict solution. But you're going to hit most of them. Even on a daily basis, you're going to hit a couple, especially when you're going through different conflicts of your day. So yeah, you don't have to go through every single step. So is it too elaborate? If you went through every step every day, yeah, of course it would be too elaborate. But if you're considering that in more cases than not, you're only doing a few steps a day, or you skip some steps in certain situations, not really. It's not that elaborate. And is win-win negotiating too rational? That goes into the fact that when we have conflicts, we get emotional. And that's okay. Emotions are fine. But is it too rational? Well, that's kind of the point. We do want to be a little rational. Yeah, sometimes we blow our tops and we can't get that, we can't help but explode with emotion. But if we take a deep breath and think about where this conflict is and go through those steps of planning a date and planning what the problem is and discussing that problem and solutions to that problem, rationality is good. It avoids future conflicts from kind of blurting out something that you don't mean to say. And then is it possible to change others? Not really. It's not possible. Not always possible. But you can negotiate with people and you can set up cooperation with people and find different solutions where that person, while you might not be able to change their personality, you could change the way they deal with conflicts as well as yourself. Set up a better communication, conflict resolution relationship. You can change that. All right, so that is the end of our last chapter. I hope you enjoyed. And I hope that you have a deeper understanding of this whole oral and interpersonal communications. I hope you enjoyed the course. Now all you have to do is do this quiz for this class, or quiz for this chapter, the journal entry for this chapter, and then finish up your projects. Don't forget to sign up and to give me that proposal. A few of you are still missing those proposals and signing up on the sign-up sheet. So please do so as soon as you can, because those good spots are filling up very quickly. I can actually pull that up. So right now, this is what I have. So all those good later spots are filling up very quickly, and there's still about half of you who haven't signed up. So please get on that as soon as possible. I don't want you to miss the chance. This project is very important for your grade. All right, so have a good rest of your day and have a good week. And I don't have any videos for the rest of the week. Like I said, there's a Google Hangout tomorrow, 12:10 to 1:10. Stop in if you need help or have any questions, or you just want to come say hi. I miss you guys. Come say hi to me. And then just final project work days and doing your chapter 12 quiz and your journal entry. That's it. All right, I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a good rest of your week and have a good weekend. Bye.